Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jason with Jadren Aquatics. Thank you for joining me for part 2 to Patrick's fish room. Again, this is an absolutely stunning fish room who has just an amazing filtration setup with just thousands and thousands of gallons flowing through this thing. And the fact that he even had this entire sunroom built just for this idea that he had in his head, to have all these windows in there to let all these lights in so that the plants can grow. I mean, it's just, this thing is absolutely cool, and tons and tons and tons of fish, and just a ton of breeding going on. You don't want to miss this, so stay tuned. Here's part 2.
Over here are paradise fish that I've bred. So I'm waiting, there's 4 in there now, and I'm waiting for them to pair up, and that way I can breed them in some numbers, because I bought them just for fun, and then I was breeding some. So over here, these are, I bought 4 of the Colombian Tetras, and I didn't know these Colombian Tetras, how hard they were to breed. And I thought I was failing until I saw somehow eggs got in the system, and I started finding fry in other tanks. So I moved them all in here, and I'm gonna get another shot of at breeding them, because I tried to breed them on purpose, and I wound up breeding them on accident.
That Pygmaeus Cory end up in here by accident too?
No, I have this is the Habrosus. I have a few Habrosus in here. Different sides of this thing, and one panda. Again, mercy bid on the Mecha Splendens, and somehow I got an Odessa barb that came over this side. I don't know. Some auction I might go and just take those and sell them. I mean, they're cool. They're just not.
Good luck, because Phil will have them there.
Yeah, he'll have them there too. Another mercy bid were these Rio Tapa Sortels. I threw a bunch of spawning mops in there and said good luck, and they had luck. So that's what if you want some Rio Tapas, there they are.
That's Phil's too.
Yeah, it probably did come from Phil's fish room.
Yeah,
that's some that paired off, and I think they bred once for me, but that's it, and they laid it on the gravel, and I should have took a turkey baster and tried to get the eggs, but yeah, oh well. All right, one of my favorite tanks. So in here you have Ember Tetras, you've got Cardinal Tetras and Neon Tetras, Rummy Nose Tetras, a lot of the Angelfish that I've bred. This is their grow out tank for the ones I haven't sold yet. A lot of them are from that Koi and black one, and that's their fry, and so you'll see Koi and black ones in there, Veil Tail and Standard Tail in there. I've also got a few, I think, albino bristlenose that were bred, and I put them in this tank. I think I've got a mystery snail in there, and and I've got some guppies and Denison barbs, roseline sharks, in there as well. I bought those wholesale, and they were like an inch long when they came in. Didn't even look like Denison barbs, but I got a bunch of them, and now they're growing out and they look gorgeous. They're one of my favorite fish. They're stunning, and these guys are all flocking to the front thinking they're about to eat. And up here I've got cribs and Bozemanite rainbows that are in that 90 gallons now grow out tank for them. So those are all Bozemanite rainbows. And as we go to these other tanks, you'll see some smaller ones.
From eggs from
yeah.
The pair you have?
Yeah, from, well, it's a group, a breeding group. Yeah. So I've got guppies. I've got a big Hippostomus in there that's his home now, because somebody needed a home for him.
Guppies accidental in there?
Yeah, they got in the. I've got some guppies in the guttering. They don't get all the way there. They live in the guttering. All right. Up here, this is a 46 bow front, and I've got some Leartail black mollies that a fish store had, like a bunch of fry, and I bought all the fry they had because they were like moving. And so, in fact, a lot of these are probably 2nd or 3rd generation of that group that are in there. This is my catch-all African cichlid tank. You know, that somehow I get these African cichlids, and The only ones I really am quite fond of are these. I can't think of the name of them right now, but they're gorgeous. There's a blue one in here that is also pretty stunning. There's it's kind of in the back right over there. Your African cichlid people, it's funny, we're here in Texas with the Texas Cichlid Association. So you see these things and we're like, yeah, I'll get some. But they get, they're in here, you'll see fry of different sizes throughout. That's why I have some of these, this Holy Rock and bricks. J-Lo Reef, I think it's called J-Lo Reef Cichlid. Oh, okay. Is that one. Yeah, I have the names of the other ones somewhere. They're just, it's the cichlid tank, whatever. All right, over here we have the N-class endlers, starburst endlers. I got these from LR Brett's. When they came in the mail, most of them were dead. I got like a trio, but I put them in here, and I mean, I'm not a big endler guy at all, but the blue and orange on these guys, I love it. I love how they look. So I keep them separated. I did have some of the Ameca splendens in there. I moved them out, but apparently not fast enough, because there are some Ameca splendens fry in the mix.
Hard to miss those because the babies are so big. Yeah, well, but that I mean, there's a lot in that tank, and it's kind of on the bottom. But it's got the not only a Java moss and Java fern, but it's also got water sprite, and I've got the what do you? Subwassertang? Yeah, subwassertang. There's a lot of subwassertang in that tank as well. So Bozeman rainbows. All in there. Some of the Odessa barb fry, black skirt tetra, there's some glowfish, crebenses, and I've even got 4 of the electric blue Acara? Acra? Acara? I think it's Acara. Acara is how I've heard it. Yeah. I don't know. Potato. But yeah, so I've got 4 of those growing out in there that I got from Jeremy Carranza. You know him. He moved and he gave me some of those. These are some of the shell dwellers. Same buddy in Oklahoma whose fish room I studied. He had a bunch of these, and he had trouble getting rid of them. So I got some snail eggs. I haven't gotten any fry out of them, and they got little teeth, little buggers. And I'm light in algae, and they'll bite me, and I'm ready to get rid of little jerks. But I got these shells I got from that's a story in itself. I asked my grandmother, they're these snails that grow in Guam. That's where I'm from. And they're all over. So I asked her, hey, can you go and like collect some shells and mail them to me? So these shells are from Guam. And they're still not breeding. That's shells from halfway around the world, and they just bite me for it. I'm done with them. That's the breeding group of Bozeman rainbows. So every day I've got one spawning mop in this tank. It's sparse for a reason. I only want one spot for them to lay eggs. So every morning I take out that spawning mop that has a cork in it to make it float. I'll throw it in another tank and I'll put a new mop in. And that's how I'm breeding these Bozeman. So, speaking of, there's some more Bozeman. And another of the blue Acara are also down there. So these mops are all ones you've moved from? Yes, I moved, and then I'm slowly moving them back or moving them to other places. But so those are Bozeman. And in here I've got the cherry barbs, albino longfin cherry barbs, and some of the fry from them that I've bred out as well, along with, of course, the plants. So there's crypts in there, micro swords, stuff like that. This is the other group of Odessa barbs, black skirt tetras, glowfish. Somehow a platy got in there from the tank above it, or a few of them it looks like. So that's that. And here are the celestial pearl danios that are breeding, if you can even find them. They like to hide. So you might go through that mop and... You have some adults in here? Yeah, well, they're breeding. It's a breeding group. Okay. I've got adults and fry in there, and the fry are probably at a breeding size now too. Just some regular red platies because I like them. And then the newest batch of Bozeman fry.
So I don't know if you see them probably in the back there. If you see them, I don't know if you can zoom in on them or not because they're tiny. Those are the latest Bozeman I fry. All right, so this is my big tank I love to look at. This is the 125, and you'll see in there I've got, besides the Denison barbs going, that one glowfish that bred. That's the only glowfish I have that I bought that bred. It's there at the end. There's that one glowfish that bred with some of the other black skirt tetras. And then I've got regular tiger barbs, long fin tiger barbs, which I haven't seen much of, and I like those long fin tiger barbs. The Odessa barbs, you got a whole school of more of the Denison barbs there. I've also got some ruby barbs in here. I think I've got a few Bozeman rainbows. Got that pork chop tetra. What are they? Header. What's it called?
That looks like just like a normal.
What do they call that?
Oh my gosh.
Having a brain fart with the name of it. somebody will say what it is. But they also call it the pork chop tetra because that little pork chop black part on it. You look up pork chop tetra and you'll see it. And then ruby barbs, and then I've got in here some gouramis that I had some people had in another tank, and they wanted to get some other fish, so they gave me the gouramis and I put them in here, and they're doing fine. They're doing great. Sometimes I'll just look at this tank. These are live plants in here and the wood, and it's also the catch-all tank from all of the tanks above it. So they go from the top to the middle down to this tank in here before they go to the gutter, which I like that because any of those nutrients from those other two tanks are now feeding this kind of heavily planted tank here before it goes to the gutter, and those plants eat all the nutrients.
Looks like there's 3 Bosemani in here.
Yeah,
Males?
Yeah, 3 males. Yep.
How come you don't have these up there with the...
Because I already have enough males up there.
Okay.
So I move these out just so that they... one male can fertilize the eggs of like 3 females.
Oh, okay.
But if you have too many, then you have more that are eating eggs out of the spawning mop. And so the one was fine. And I like the way it looks in just a nice planted tank, especially when they're colored up on fire, which a lot of these guys are a lot of the time. I mean, this guy right here, he's probably not even fully colored up, but he doesn't follow my finger. They're just...
Thanks again, guys, for joining me on another amazing fish room tour. This is part 2. Be sure and stay tuned for the next installment, which will be all about how the mechanics of this fish room work. Be sure to leave a comment down below if you got anything to say. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to hit that notification bell when you can see when more fish room tours are coming out. So thanks again, guys, and God bless.